Welcome to Engineering Scale Models, where the details live. How is everybody doing today? We are working on part 3 of our LST build. I want to show you some pictures of the slides. That is just weird. Okay, well, anyways, there's supposed to be some slides that are playing on the screen, and they are not doing that, so I will put them in the next issue. So I'm sorry about that. They were supposed to be playing there and it didn't work, but I will put them in the next episode. It's just some progress pictures of all the work that's been done to the different parts. I have already filmed this. It's all done. This is just a quick intro. I don't have any history or anything like that, so I'm not going to go on and on here. I was going to explain the pictures, but we will do that in the next part. So that's going to do it. Let's get to the show. Okay, we're going to make a start on this door, this actually landing ramp here. I'm not going to put the doors on. We did move the step 6. We haven't moved any further on this section, gluing this up yet. I'm going to hold off on that. That was in the last video. We glued some of that together and talked about that. But this needs some photo etch before it gets worked on. And I want to get some of this tedious photo etch, not the tedious stuff, but some of the easier photo etch, I should say, out of the way before I can just start assembling this. And we are going to do it open with the chains on it, like is shown on this here. So in order to do this, I just wanted to check. We just need to glue 20 to 19, and then on the outside of that, we're going to put this part 61, and then I'll cut out and get everything set up to drill these 0.3 millimeter holes for the anchor lines. So let us get the kit parts out. Let's see. C sprue. We're going to come in here to our sprue bucket, and we're going to get the C sprue. And just gonna back out a little bit, guys. I'm gonna cut out C19 and C21. And we'll get these cleaned up, and then we'll take a look at the photo etch. So you guys let me know in the comments how you're liking this new style of video, with me popping in and out per clip instead of just doing one long boring session where I just build and yammer on about something. I'm hoping to just do these little sections of building and then the photo etch. You guys can see all the extra details. And let me know how you think the channel name is working out. I know it's kind of a lot to say, engineering scale models, but I was really struggling with finding a name, and I think engineering scale models, where the details live, I like that, especially when we're going to be doing the upgrade kits for different companies and things like that, like Pontos and Infini Model, like we're doing here. And I'll tell you, these Infini Model zebra sanding sticks, these are pretty nice. They got a little bit of cushion, but not too much cushion, so they keep the part clean. And this 220 is nice. You could really choose through the thing. And then plus, we have a little bit of ejector pins that are risen there. You don't have to get rid of them, but just hit the sander on the back to take the height off of them, so our pieces will sit. I think that's going to be good in there. I'm just going to come in here with one of these. Just rough that up a little bit. Alright, so this is going to go together like that. Make sure that's all cleaned up. Check my end here. So I'm going to add some extra thin to this and set it to the side, and then we can take a look at the photo etch piece That is going to go onto it. I believe it's part 61. It should be pretty detailed. From the looks of it, it is going on this side here, the part we just glued. So I'm going to move that off to the side. Come up a little bit. We're going to take a look at some of this photo etch here. So we need number 61, which is definitely not on that sheet. So we're going to grab our other sheets here. So this is in the hundreds. Here it is right here. So it's going to be this part there. Let's go ahead and get this out. This sheet also had our deck elevator piece on there. So while I do that, I'm going to put this piece that had our doors, our air intake covers away so it doesn't get damaged. And we will take a look at cutting this. We'll take a look at this piece and the detail on it. It looks good. So I'm going to get this cut out and cleaned up. I've done a video on how to do that, and then I will show you a different way that I'm going to attach it. Then I have done other things. I got some new glue products I want to try, and they are from the dollar store, and we're going to try gluing this on that flat surface and see how it holds. So I'm going to pop out. I'm going to get everything set up for that, and when I come back, this piece is going to be dry, and we're going to bend that up and glue it on with some dollar store glue and see how it works. I'll be back, guys. Let's talk about how I glued this hull together here. So I have it, this is the final stage, it's glued. I did not glue this upper section, this upper deck in, but I did use it for alignment purposes. And I used rubber bands to wrap around it, and I started at this end here, and I glued a little bit, and I moved my way down until I got to the end, and I glued this section, and I left this part up here loose because of this deck needs to fit in there perfectly, and it needs some work still, and I want to make sure it's perfect, and then I can just get it in there and then glue it up when I put the deck in, so it'll be nice and square and true. So now I have the side camera in the corner so you can see it overall, because I'm trying to use a closer image on the main camera overhead. I hope that's okay. So let's just look at what we have so far. See, that just comes right out there, and we have this section. Now this needs to go. This is going to go in here like so. It's going to go in there like that. Then we can actually, no, I want to save that, but we can glue that down because it's time for that. And then we are working on the ramp, as I said before. So I'm not going to glue that in right now. I'm going to talk about the ramp that I'm working on. So let's move this out of the way, and let's bring in a blue board. And here is the photo etch piece that we cut out, and here is the piece it glues onto. I'll show you that right here in the instructions. This is the section that we're doing. We're going to put this metal piece, this brass piece, onto kit 19 and 20 that are glued together from the instructions in the kit. I glued them together. I sanded away any high marks so it'll fit. We just have to do a little bit of bending on the photo etch first, and I'm going to do that right now on the camera. And then it needs some modifications for the anchor chains to be installed, and then I'll have to do that in the next clip of the video. So as you can see, there is little pegs there that we have to cut off, and then we have to drill 0.3 millimeter holes and add these little pins with anchor chains on them for the not anchor chains, for just the chains for raising and lowering it. I don't know why I keep calling it anchor chains. I don't know. Alright, so let's look at bending this to fit the part. I'm going to use my medium bender because it's the one I always recommend to people. So this is what I'm going to use here. So let's see here. So if I line this up, so I'm hoping you guys get this. And then you just clamp it down like so. And I'm not lined up. You want to make sure you're lined up on that bend mark. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it on the edge because of I don't want to interfere with the other part, and I'll show you that in a second. Very hard to do on camera far away. Okay, so as you can see, I have that lined up, and you see how I have it, this piece right here, because it's got to bend, and it would have bent the corner of this, and we don't want to do that. So, alright, so I don't need much of a bend, I just need a little bit, just a smidgen. So we'll see how that looks on here. That's enough. Yep, that looks like it's the right amount of bent. If you can see, it fits nice and snugly down on that there, and the piece still fits pretty good like that. So now I'm going to bend the other side the same way. I'm going to come over here to my edge. Very hard to line this up when you're far away on the camera like that. So, but we'll get it. Spin that up a little bit like that, and then we'll check it. So as you can see, these photo-etch benders are very nice for doing this. You can do it with a pair of pliers, but as I say, I will do different methods and techniques. Now, I just bent that front piece down by hand. It went down remarkably, and as you can see, everything is sealed up there. I could put a drop of solder on there, but I am just going to hit it with some thin super glue from the underside after I glue the piece to this plastic part. If I glue this together, I'm going to put a little super glue after it dries. So how am I going to glue this? So first I'm going to get a clothespin. This is a reverse peg clothespin, so I can hold it down like so. I might need a regular clothespin. Yep, that's going to work just like that. Just hold it down. Because I'm not going to use super glue, I'm going to use a PVA glue. Actually, I'm going to use something called tacky glue from the dollar store. It is, it's pretty good. I've done some tests on it. I'm going to be using a variety of different glues for gluing this stuff down, but this tacky glue seems pretty durable, and if you make a mistake, you can repair it. So on larger flat surfaces like this, you rough them up, a little bit of tacky glue, and it seems to hold pretty well. You can also use canopy glue or micro crystal clear or PVA. Some people use wood glue. I will talk about wood glue in the future. So let me just get out my glue here. See, I put it in these little bottles that have a brush in it. So basically it has a little brush in it. So I can come out here just like this and just brush this on real lightly here. I can brush off the extra. Try to get those edges. Close it up. So I got the glue on there. It might be hard to see. Now I'm going to add the Photo-etch part. And I'm going to wipe away any excess glue with my finger. Because this glue's nice, it'll clean up with water. And then I want to wipe off the top of this right here. Wipe that off. So there's no glue right there or on the edges. And then I'm going to put my clothespin on it like so to hold it, so in case I bump it or anything like that, I'm not gonna move it or anything. Just make sure that's all in position. Sorry guys if that was off camera. I'm trying to get used to this whole new setup and this new technique of multi-part videos. So there we go. That is going to dry. Now I know some of you are saying I should have modified the part before adding the detail to it, but I don't think I need to. I think it's going to be very simple with the method I use to take these off and drill the little holes. It's a 0.3mm hole, so I don't think I'll have any issues with that. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I am going to move on to another section. Okay, so we have let the piece dry on this section here. I got the clothespin here, and it is dry, and that piece is done. So that's all done there. I just need to shave off this section, this little piece here, and this little piece here, and add some Photo-etch and drill a tiny hole. But I'm not gonna do that right now. That's gonna be done later on. I want to show you some other progress I had made and give you a couple little good tool tips. So sit that over there. Now, if you recall earlier videos, we've done this here, and I told you I had to remove a lot of detail from this and this over here, and I still have some back here to remove. So I went ahead and did this. I was going to use my micro mill for it, but I haven't gotten that all the way set up yet, and I want to get moving on this project. So I went ahead on this one, and I have taken down all the detail on this. So right here and right here has been sanded down, and then this little reel here has been removed. In the opening of this video, if you watch the slide during slides while I was talking about the LST and some of its features, I run the photos, the before and after photos of the whole project, and it changes for every video as I add stuff to it. So I'll be adding photos to it for that, hopefully. I sometimes forget things. So that, and then on the top here, I have removed this reel that was here, and then now I have to remove this, 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 and this. Let's talk about how I'm going to do that. and how I've done what I had done. So I have talked about this tool. I have reviewed it. It is the Mr. Hobby G2 Polisher Pro 3. Proxyon makes a pretty similar one. It's an oscillating sander, and I'll show you. It has different heads that go on it. I've done a review on this tool, but I used these two. I had 180 grit on one and then 400 on the other, and you plug it in like that, and then I basically, with the 180, I just took it down till it was almost touching, and then I hit it with the 400, and then I hit it with some 600 after to take away some of the scratches. I was going to do it on camera, but this is very loud. I'll give a quick demonstration. And I didn't want to drown out your ears, or if you're wearing headphones, blow your eardrums out. So especially when it starts sanding, it gets even louder. So that's what I used. And then I used this pointed tip one for getting in here and removing the rail, the hose reel, or the reeling system that was there. I'm not sure what it's called. So that is how I remove that detail. This detail here, because there's so much little detail around it that needs to be not removed, I'm going to use my little micro motor jewelry rotary tool with the variable speed foot pedal, but I'll probably use it without the foot pedal and just turning on a set speed and then just grinding it away. And then when I get close to it, I'll get in there with some thin sanding sticks and sand it smooth. So that'll be, and you'll see a before and after of that in the slideshow. So that is, I might even start running slideshows at the end of the videos to see if you guys like that. So that is what is going to happen on there. I did it. This is just sitting in here as a test fit, just to see how it fits in there. It fits in good. It matches up everywhere, so it's gonna match up. Just need to get this glued up here when the deck is in, and I think we are going to be moving along pretty well. So I can actually probably get this glued down in the next video, or the next clip of this video. There'll be a little bit more on this video than what we have now. So, well, see you in a bit, guys. This is the part we are working on now. We talked about earlier how we glued this on, and that's dry, and we needed to get in here and remove these two little parts here that would have originally raised and lowered it, and we need to add some of the Photo-etch for that. So in order to do that, I had to remove some sections here, and hopefully you can see that they are now removed. I just used a sharp scalpel blade and didn't even have to sand it. It's perfectly flat. And now what we need to do is we need to drill that with a 0.3 millimeter hole, and that will be ready to go. Okay, so let us look at the Photo-etch. I'll show you, it's part 66 here. It is these little pieces. You get 4 of them. You only need 2, so I guess in case you lose one, it doesn't say to double them up. So I'm assuming you don't double them up. Maybe we come across using them later when we connect it to the top, which I'm going to look at right now. If you look at, I want to zoom out a little bit so we can talk about this, because now that we have 2 of them, I want to talk about this, because if you look at the front here, this is where this section here is where the chains are going to go into, I believe. No, that's not where they're going to go. It doesn't have a good picture of where the chains are going to plug into on here. So let's just look at these instructions real quick and see if we can't find a picture of the inside there. We may have to do some modifications and add stuff. See, we have an inside shot here, but not enough to see what we need to see. And there is not a good shot of what the chains are connected to. So I'm going to assume that they will go into these sections right here to be hoisted up and down, give them more of a realistic look. So that's where I feel that they're going to end up going. So that is that part. So again, it's this part right here. So we're going to cut these out. I'm going to come back, I'm going to cut these out, and I'm going to have the drilling all set up with the right drill bit, and we will I'll film that for you guys and you can see how that works. So back in a minute. Okay, I got you set up here to watch me cut out this photo etch with this new lens I'm trying. So I'm hoping that I won't get my head in the way. Oh, I just bumped the camera. Sorry about that. I thought that might happen. But I'm just going to cut it out just like this. Cut out 2 of these. Flip it around. Hopefully get it back in shot. And I'm going to cut it out like that. And like that. And that one didn't cut out all the way, so I'm going to have to give it another shot. Very hard to do when you are not looking at directly overhead with a magnifier. So there are 2 little tiny pieces, and the whole, and I cut that out with this right here. This is a retractable, it's called a pen blade. It's a number 15. It's a retractable. They're disposable, so they're safely disposed of. You get like a 10-pack on Amazon, and they tend to last a whole project of photo etch. So for the drilling out the holes, I'm going to try one of these Trumpeter Master Tool drill bits I have. I haven't used these before. This is they have 3 sets, different sizes. This is their smallest set. The smallest goes down to 0.3. And that is what I have in my Serret pin vise here with the tiny cullet. It is very tiny. It is very tiny holes, but we are hoping to be able to do this with no issues. I am going to slide in this. And knock stuff around and make noise. There it is. So I'm hoping the setup I have here will hold this piece in place, so I can work my magic on it. Okay, so that's pretty much in there. Now what I need to do is, this little vise is perfect for this because I can angle it, and I need to make a starter hole with a small needle. which I'm going to use an airbrush needle for this that is old and broken, and I am going to bump this camera, guys, and I am extremely sorry. I am trying to get you guys the highest end shot that I can. That lighting is kind of low there. I'm trying to solve that issue, but I'm trying to, and we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I just popped it off the Photo-etch. Okay, so this is going to be way more difficult than I had anticipated, so I will glue the Photo-etch back on after I drill these holes out. I'm going to try to capture most of this delicate stuff on camera. Just have to bear with me on it. I'm hoping that I can do this. It's definitely a unique opportunity of trying to do this. Okay, let me see if that made. Okay, that's not making an indentation like I had anticipated. So what I'm going to do is continue to bump the camera apparently, and I am going to use a different pointy stick here. I'm going to use this guy, and I'm just going to make the little indentation right there and right there. So hopefully you can see that. I had to pull it close to me with the optivisor, and there's no way I'm going to be able to drill this on camera, so I'm going to drill it out, and then I will pop back in and show you the progress, and we'll start putting the Photo-etch in, and I'll reposition the camera so I'm not bumping as much. Okay, so I marked a center pin in there, and I drilled it out. You can barely see the hole. It's there, and I put one in. I haven't glued it yet because I need to do some cleanup work on the piece. The 0.3 millimeter hole is a perfect fit, so it's worked out well. I put it in with just a pair of clockmaker tweezers, so I will get those on, and actually I want to glue this piece of Photo-etch back on before I actually put these on permanently, because of the fact that I need to clamp it and I want it to hold really well. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Photo-etch on first, and then I will put these little brackets on, and then this piece will be done until later on in the assembly. I might hang the anchor chains from the front on there, might hang the anchor chains from the front and then just ticky-tack them out of the way, so, but not connect them yet, and put this piece on towards the end. So this piece goes on here like that. That can't be right. Piece goes on there like that. I just realized that there's a mistake here on this kit. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see this. This part here this part here, if you look at this, this is this way. So you would think it would go like this and fit in that slot like that. But when you flip it over, it doesn't match up correctly, and it doesn't glue on correctly to the unit. This piece is actually backwards, which I don't see how it could be backwards because it was a location pin fit. As if you look at this, this is supposed to slot into there like that, and this backwards like that. So I'm actually going to have to make some more modifications to this so it actually sits on there like that with the ramp piece actually on there correctly. So I'm gonna have to file this off. So I'm kind of glad that Photo-etch piece popped off because I'm gonna have to sand that down and glue this on the correct way like this. Because otherwise I wouldn't have noticed that, and then I would have went to put it on and it would have been all messed up because it's got to go on like that. So the detail for the ramp is like so. Okay, so that's just weird. That is just weird. Okay, so yeah, that was a location fit from the instructions of the kit. So I would try to flip that around and put it on the other way so you get a better fit in the end. I'm going to call it there, and I will get this all tidied up, and then we'll come to the conclusion of this video, and then we'll move on to some more stuff later. Thank you. Okay guys, we're going to talk about this issue we had in the last clip, and I'm going to call this video quits. I'm still going to film an opening to overcap everything, but this is what I'm going to do. So this piece right here, this C19 and C20, I thought it was a mistake in the kit, but it was my fault. I glued C20 onto 19 backwards, but I was able to correct it with the Photo-etch popping off. It helped me realize. I just sanded it off, glued everything up with the Photo-etch. The Photo-etch is actually going to hide it, and it will still go there like so, and I'll still get a good glue point to move forward on that. So that, and then I had definitely lost one of these little pieces that are the mounts for the chains. So I'm going to be hunting for that, or there's two extra ones that I believe are extra onto the fret. So I'm also gonna see if they are extra ones, and then I will install those, and then they will be in the next video, the update on that. And I'm also going to cover this right here. I'm going to go ahead and install this number 4 piece, the step 4, and put in C16 if it's not a photo C6. I didn't have that on camera, I'm sorry. I'm going to put in this bracket, this piece here, and then I'm going to put in C6, this anchor, if it's not a Photo-etch part, and then C15 and 16. I'm going to search the Photo-etch instructions just to make sure, but for now I'm going to glue this in. I'm going to click it down in the back here. It's a nice fit up front. I'm going to have to hold that down a little bit, and then once I get that down, I can push the front together, glue it all up, and it will be perfect. Definitely think leaving that unglued in the front was the best option. So I'm going to go ahead and run some extra thin along this back joint here, and also this way down so it flows down there, and also keeping it held in place. I want this whole back to set. Wow, that just everything just went off at the same time. Sorry about that, guys. Bet you that was super loud. I apologize for that. So I'm just going to glue that like so. And that is that part. I'm going to move up a little bit and glue this section here. Let the glue flow down where I want it to flow into the cracks and crevices that I want it to flow into. This tomato glue is perfect for that. And I will do this section here. Ouch, I just stuck myself with a pin. That was fun. At least it didn't break off. That's the most important thing. So I'm going to let that sit to dry, and then in the next video we will glue the front together, and I will show you how that goes together, and we will put the photo etch pins on, and we will start on this section here like so. And also all this detail needs to be removed, this reel and this and this. So I'm going to probably try to do some of it on camera in the next video. I don't know how loud it's going to be. I'm probably going to use this right here. It's a jewelry tool. It has a carbide bit on it, and I can kind of chew that down. I also have a micro mill that I want to try out to see how that works, to take this detail off without marring up the deck. So, and then we can get these reels built and all that. And this gets nothing here. It needs to be covered with a cover that's in the kit. So we'll take it on to that section there. So this is where we are at with the build. We have this glued into there. We have this ready. It gets a lot of parts before it's actually installed, and we can actually install this front section. After this is glued up, we can install it but not glue it in, and then we'll have the whole front section to pick out, and then we can add the pieces to it and build up the whole deck assembly. And that seems to be the best options on what to do. We'll get into doing this here, and then we have some pieces, some rudders and whatnot to put on the back. We need to check for photo etch on any of this stuff, and then we can probably install the door. I don't know if I want to install the door right now with the chains, and it could be broken off, or the doors, so I'm going to hold off on that. But there is some stuff here where we have to, if we have the LS-49 or this, we have to drill some holes. It doesn't say what size hole, so I'll have to look into that. And that is in this area here and this area here. The holes are pre-marked, so I guess we just drill them at that size. So, but I want to check the photo etch kit and see if there's actually things that pin into those spots. So we're going to double check that. So we're probably going to build the 49, so we're going to have to drill those holes out. So that'll be something we can take, and then we can put on the front section here, and then we can start doing all this detail and doing the photo etch and everything on this. The lifeboats have a bunch of photo etch detail, and also the ship has a ton of photo etch detail. So we'll get all that done, set it aside, and then we can start the superstructures. So this should cover us for the rest of this year, and then we have some cool stuff coming in 2020. I hope you stay tuned, As always, at the end of the videos, I put up the social media sites. I try to post the release of the videos on my Facebook page at Engineering Scale Models a little bit ahead of time, so you know what's coming out with the thumbnail. You can always visit those. The links are in the description. Also, you can visit me on Patreon to support the channel and help it grow so I can do more of these high-end detailing kits in the future. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.